Hello guys and welcome to this Q&A. A lot of you guys have sent in a couple of questions for me and I'm gonna answer them, so let's jump in. How do you set your gain level on your preamp before hitting the DAW? I usually start using my ears, so I have the microphone set up and I have the gain knob and I turn it to a really fine sweet spot that I really like. So the sweet spot for me is when I have good amount of audio and the noise ratio is down so I don't hear any noise, and then I take a look at the meters, and usually when I do that, the peaking level is not going over minus 6 dB, so I have 6 dB of headroom to hit the ceiling, so and that is the peaks. If you see in Logic, you will see that everything is green, nothing goes in yellow or never in red. Because if you peak, you're screwed. You really have cut off the signal and there's no information there. So really, I like to have good headroom, but I also like to have a good signal. And today, it's no problem having too small of a signal because you can always turn it up, no problem. The problem is taking the sound down after you have destroyed the sound. This is something that you will get better at after doing it a lot of times. Do you EQ before you compress a vocal or after? Well, I said that depends on how the audio is, but normally I EQ before I compress. That is because I always take away something with the EQ that I don't want the compressor to be working on. Frequency has different energy, so you have the bass that has a lot of energy, and you have frequencies like in 16,000 that is tiny small and really gets eaten up by the low frequencies. That's why I take away all the lows that I don't need on a vocal. So what I do, I have the low pass filter and just listen to when it takes away some bass, and then I take it a bit back. And then I've taken away a lot of things that I don't need, and the compressor can start working on the stuff that I want the compressor to work on. So that's why I EQ before. Also, a compressor can alter the sound. You can get some compressors gets things a bit brighter, and some compressors make the sound a bit harsh. So then I have an EQ after that to alter the sound, take away the harshness, maybe take the brightness a bit down so it's more like the sound I'm going for. I'd say I EQ before and after a compressor. What DAW do you recommend for PC users? For PC users, I recommend everything except Logic, because that won't work on a PC, and I guess you know that. But the reason I say anything is because there won't be a difference in sound, because today the sound's the same in any DAW. You can get the same professional results in any DAW. Get a DAW that your friends are using so you can learn together. Get a DAW that you can get the most help with. So if you know somebody who works in that DAW, you really can ask a lot of questions. So I think that is more valid. And also get the DAW that you can afford. If I'm gonna name a couple of names, I'd say Cubase, Pro Tools, Studio One, Reaper, you have Ableton, Adobe Audition. Yeah, all those are great options that you can go for. Visit all of their websites and see what they can do for you. So every DAW that I mentioned now is gonna be a valid choice for you. So yeah, happy hunting. What microphone do you use when you record your videos on YouTube? I've been using a lot of different microphones, but the latest one now that I'm using right now, it's sitting on the top here. That's Røde VideoMicro, it's called, and I like that because it hasn't got any batteries. It takes the power from the camera, so it's very simple to use, and I think the sound is okay, and it was a cheap alternative. So yeah, I like this microphone. But I've been using everything from Shure SM57 to wireless microphones that I have from Sennheiser, and also the shotgun microphone from Sennheiser. And I also have lavalier that I can plug into my iPhone and record straight into the iPhone. So I've been using that and syncing the audio up in post. But I really like this Røde microphone that I'm using now. Yeah, I'm gonna use this till it breaks, I think. What sound card do you recommend to record guitar and vocals compatible with a MacBook and Logic X Pro? I am new to them, so something relatively cheap. With Logic you can use any audio interface. If you want it very cheap, you can buy used. I'd say you can go for PreSonus. PreSonus has quality sound cards to a very low price. Focusrite, maybe they are a bit more pricey, but they also have good alternatives. Check them out. And you also have to decide how many preamps you want, if you wanna, and how you're gonna record. If you're gonna record one thing at the time, you just need one preamp, one input. But if you want to play guitar and sing at the same time, then you would need 2 preamps. And you get what you pay for. If it's too cheap and it's too good to be true, yeah, it is. My first audio interface was M-Audio, Mobile Pre, I think it was called, and I had 2 inputs, and I used that for many years and really learned some skills using that. I'd say PreSonus, Focusrite, yeah. Do you use external preamps and compressors? Yeah, I do that, but I do it because I have them. So I have a Focusrite channel strip that I use. I have 4 710 from Universal Audio. That's 4 preamps with 4 compressors on it. And I have LA 610 that I use. That's preamp with compression and EQ. The last one I use a lot on bass guitar and stuff like that. And the others 2 I use a lot on vocals, and yeah, the Focusrite I really like on snare. But I also have 8 preamps on my audio interface that I really use more than those guys, because it's really clean, and I like the signal really clean when I do the work that I do. And I also really like Slate Digital's plugins, so I really can do what I want afterwards if I have a really clean signal. What music do you listen to, and what music has influenced you? So I'm a kid from the 90s, so I grew up listening to Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, but at the same time I listened to Bob Dylan, Neil Young, Tom Petty, the Beatles, and Tom Waits, and so on. So I really liked those people because of the lyrics and also the melody making. All those have been a very big inspiration for me. Today I listen to a lot of things. I like singer-songwriters, of course, Ryan Adams, John Mayer, and so on. But since the streaming came, I've been really liking just to go on the radio stations. So we have a radio station for singer-songwriters, for hip-hop, for metal, for jazz, for reggae, and so on, R&B. I listen to all those, just hit the radio, and then I hear music that I haven't heard before. Really, it's amazing. I really like listening to artists' music that I've never heard before, and get inspiration from that. And because it really takes me in new directions all the time and really keep me on the top of my game. That's something I really like. I like new music. So guys, please keep these questions coming. Use the form down here. I'm gonna answer them, and hopefully we can do this once a week. Subscribe, hit the like button. I see you guys in another video. Take care.